All right. I'm in the Bier Fest tournament. I'm in the Wednesday qualifying round in the rookie division. Nothing like waiting until the last minute. In this particular tournament, we're playing at Eagle Peak. And there's two par fours that we have got to pick up every single time we play them. Hole number one is a par four, and we need to pick this up. The mid par four and hole number 8 we can get those. We have to get those because the way that the scoring is going to be is it's minus 14. That gives you a minus 28, and that you have to build on that minus 28. You're not going to win with a minus 28. I suppose you could if you got into a really good bracket, but the deal is you're going to have to shoot better than a minus 28, and anything better than a minus 28, you're giving yourself a shot. And this hole right here, we can get it done. Now I'm going to bring, I would normally play this with a Kingmaker, but I'm going to play it with a Titan. Saving my Kingmakers. Got a Titan selected, and I'm going to play it with a Rock and a Sniper. Here we go. Now I'm going to play off of my notes. Wow. All right, let's get my calculator up and running. So I'm playing on the drive. I'm at the +6 mark. Doing plus 20% on the wind, 1.2 times whatever the wind is. I'm doing a quarter backspin and 1 right-hand side spin. That's shot number 1. This is one shot at a time. If I can get an opponent, what is the deal? Thank you, big dog. Here we roll. Let's see which way my opponent's going to go at it. Now, I've been moving it back to the +6 mark so that I can give myself enough room to take the shot in a little bit of headwind and still be able to work the wind out. So I've been trying to get to my red line. Let's see if I left enough room. My opponent's pounding it down out there. As long as they can clear the trees and not end up in the sand, they're in a beautiful spot. That was close. Whew. Close. Nice shot. That's exactly where they were trying to get. Okay, +6 mark. Have a backspin. 1 right-hand side spin. I'm going to go +7 just because we're going against the headwind. 3.6, 3.6, 4.32 rings. 4.32. Oh, that was like 7,000 rings great to the right. First shot of the day. Anticipation. But it'll still put me in a pretty good spot. A little longer. I'm at minimum sniper, and I rolled down that hill a little bit. I may be more towards mid. Bless you. Gesundheit. I'm going to use a sniper. I'm going to do slightly less than 2 backspin. A half a right-hand side spin. Plus 10%. And I've been playing at minimum club. So if I'm in mid, it's 1.2 instead of 1.3. And if I was playing it with a Saturn, I would go, those trees are probably in the way. But a Saturn's a great club for this. When you first start playing and you get your Saturn is, you're obviously working on your comments when you first get started, but playing with a Saturn, it's a great utility club. Once you start getting some clubs that have better ball guide, But there's all kinds of things you can do with a Saturn. All kinds. Okay. Slightly less than 2 backspin. And a half a right hand side spin. There's min. There's max. So I am eking towards the mid. I'm going to still play the 1-3. I'm going to play at 1.2. 2.9 equals divided by 1.2. 2.65 rings. There's 2.65. Exactly. And I hit it 1 ring great to the left. I hit it 1 or 2 rings great to the right on the first shot, and now I'm on the left, so now I need to get into a perfect rhythm. I'm going to start hitting it from the other side until I get in a perfect rhythm. Arrgh. I'm not out, I'm at minimum club. I could have swore we were playing min club. Can't tell anything when you hit it great. That's the problem. Arrgh. Rat bastards. Hole number 2. Now we got a great opportunity on hole number 2 to pick up a hole in 1. And we're going to see which way the wind's blowing. I'd rather have a headwind than a tailwind or a side wind, because we have a red line issue. If I have katanas. This would be better served with a power 1 ball. We're going to do a rough bump off of this area right here. And I'm going to come forward a little bit more. I'll put 3 right hand side spin and a half a top spin, so I can push it up a little bit, because my red line's like right here with the katana. And you can give yourself a little bit of wiggle room with a 0 power ball. But I think, depending on which way the wind is blowing, that's blowing, we've got enough room to work that wind out. Sniper and a katana. Sniper. Play some golf. Continue in the tournament. Play hole 2. Here we go. All right. Let's get this in the cup. I'm doing a 30% wind adjustment, and I'm doing 1 per ring. Maybe, if I can get an opponent. And even though I'm at minimum club, I'm playing 1.0 per ring, plus 30%. Three right hand side spin, half a top spin. My opponent goes first. Arrgh. And you can run it up there. You can bring a guardian and you can start off on the other side and you can go right out the cup. And this cup, if you look right behind it, it's in a bowl, and then it kind of drops down on the other side. I think when I was playing this with a guardian doing backspin, I had my second bounce in the cup. And then adjusted out the wind. See if my opponent can get in the hole. And like me, they're running out of time. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Way off. All right, 30% wind adjustment. 3 right hand side spin. Half a top spin. 3, half a top spin. Okay, it's 2.3 equals 2.99 rings. 3 rings. There's 1, 2, 3 rings. You are way in the hell downhill. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. It's got the distance. Oh, and it ran out of gas. It felt like I needed to be a little bit farther through the cup, but right on chalk. That's okay. That's definitely that. This hole right here is definitely a hole that even if you've been right there at it in the weekend round, this is a hole that you can pick up twice, and it changes like that's like big time. If you can pick up this hole on both sides, and this hole is definitely makeable. A little teeny bit more topspin. Learning experience. It's always better. And it's a little different now, but the whole deal now is you just have to beat everybody else by one more stroke. So you just have to do the deal. But I always like to peak in the weekend round, and it really didn't matter to me what my tiebreakers were kind of coming up. But now it is super important. Hole play number 3. Hole number 3 play. All right, the big par 5. I'm going straight at it. I don't have a lot of success on this hole, but I'm going straight at it. I'm always in a pretty good spot. I'm taking my accurate stuff. Best ball guide. Let's rock it out. It says I can use, I tell myself that I can use one less than max topspin. I did roll off at the beginning of the week. All right, here we roll. I'm going to take my bag number 1. Okay, I'm aiming right towards that transitional surface right there. And I'm going to take out the wind. It's 1.9. It's 1.5 rings. 2.1 per ring, and I'm not going to put that power back in it. Let's put a little less than 1. I'll put some curl on it. And even if I hit it great like that, the first bounce hit great. Now the curl really comes into play, and it'll bring you below that area that you were aiming towards, and then you open up the entire fairway. See what I mean? If you were really trying to go to the other side and you brought out a bigger ball, that's the area that I would be aiming to, is that transitional surface in there, and then putting on max curl and really trying to bring it down there and try and get over to the other side. I should in my 77 account. I qualified on Monday in my 77 account, but in the opening round, I should go out there with a power 5 ball and see, like, just pound it out there and see like what it looks like. Because if we can get over to the other side, let's like screw it. Let's just try and get over to the other side. I've had limited success taking this shot right here, and we'll see where we're at. I've made it, but it's always not as consistent as I would like. Okay, there's Max Hornet. Okay, 3.0 per ring times 3. I'm going to do a 3 ring pool. Hitting it perfect. In the hole! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I decided the other day that I was going to quit playing I haven't had any success with my Hornet since I upgraded it to level 9. And I got 100% and I switched my numbers on it. And it used to be like if I could get into my Hornet range, man, all I had to do was hit it perfect and that sucker's going in the cup. And if it doesn't, then you immediately can zone in on it. And so I went back to my old Hornet numbers because I wasn't having any luck with the 100% accuracy. So it was like 96 when it's like level 8. Here we go. See if my opponent can get in. One ring great to the right. If they're using the backboard, who knows? But if they're going straight at it. All right. Picking up one. I didn't pick up the par 3, which I think that par 3 is super makeable. Hole number 4. Here we are in another par 3. Let's check out hole number 4. Hole number 4. Da, 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 da. All right. I am fully committed. Like, I was talking to my teammate Kyle, and he was telling me that in Masters they're doing a sand bump. And it's FT. No way. You can do a rough bump from over here. And you got a little bit more wiggle room when you're over here as far as back and forth. And the sand's not as steep over here as it is in the front and back over here on this backside. You can bounce it from over here, or you can go straight at it. I've been bouncing it from over here, and it's just kind of like working out the numbers. But the numbers that I have written down on my notes are for the Guardian shot. But I think this hole is more hole-in-oneable from down here. I've made some hole-in-ones with that Guardian, but it's more hole-in-oneable from down here. So that's how I'm going to play it. And this is definitely a hole you do not want to screw up on. Because the whole deal on this hole is not... The whole deal on that hole is to watch your second bounce. Your first bounce out here, you're always in the clear. Your second bounce, where your second bounce is. And you've got to get your topspin right, because if you blow past the cup, you will go way past the cup. You may be off. You better hope that you're off. And you better hope that you can stick on the fringe, because it's real quick to get down on the backside. So the second bounce is what's super critical here. I'm going to bring that bag right there. And I'm going to bring a quasar. And I'm going to bring a navigator. I'm going to cut the wind down as much as I can. I don't think I need the side spin. But we will cut the wind down a little. Here we roll. Here we roll. Getting out on the course. Finding an opponent. Wow. It was quick. Look at that. I guess they didn't like me singing. Hermdog goes first. Let's see which way Hermdog's going at it. Man, this wind is... The thing I don't like about this wind is that if you're bouncing over, you got to get your wind stuff right, or you can end up in big trouble. And you definitely don't want to be not knowing what you want to do when you get to this hole, because my opponent is going to be in big trouble. They're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. They should have practiced this hole. Their best shot may be to hit into the sand, just so that they can at least have a shot real close up there. Wow, I can't believe that that's stuck on the green. I just look like big trouble. Times 3.4. There's max. I'm going to play it at max. Maybe 3 rings off. I need to bring a bigger side spin ball. Three, 4.8 rings. Hit it one ring great to the left. And left it a little bit short. That was with a 20% wind adjustment, and I think I would have missed if I'd hit it perfect. I think it would have been right on the other edge of the cup. So when I go back and watch this video, I'll pay attention to the wind that's there. I may need to run like 22.5% or 1.2 plus 1 plus 2. Perfect. In the hole. I am really surprised. My opponent looked like they were going to be in big trouble. Like, this is definitely a par 3 that you want to come in with a game plan. You want to have picked a shot. You want to have picked a pony on how you want to play it. Still working the ball, though. Katana. Grizzly. All right. Hole number 5. Making notes while it's fresh. But the cool thing about it is I record my own video. So everybody should record their own video. All right. In my main account, I'm not dicking around on this hole. I'm bringing out a power 5 ball every time. I think I was able to pull back a little from my red line and work the shot out. So if we get a headwind or a forward moving wind here, I can work that wind. But in this account, I only have a power 3 ball. So getting it around the bend, I'm going to use an APOC and I'm going to use a Kingmaker. I think you could probably get it done with a Titan, but I have a few Kingmakers and I've been saving them. APOC. I'm not using this bag at all, so I'm going to switch this up just in case. Everything else looks good. Bring that bag right there. Right there. All right, here we go. We've got to get this. Hole number 5 and hole number 8 are, as the week goes on, we have to get them. We're probably going to have to get them just to qualify. I practiced yesterday, and it was like in that bracket, it took a minus 13. So they shot the minimum score and picked up something. So there was 5 13s and the rest was 14 and better. I think there was 3 14s and then there was 2 people that had higher than that. One of them was like 32. There's lots of holes in this game that are definitely pick-upable. There's a bunch of holes that are in this that were in the 2020 Community Cup. That was an awesome tournament. Low scoring. Like every single hole in a Community Cup, you have a serious shot. And there's a bunch of holes that were in this course that were in that tournament. So we got lots of opportunities. And that is going to put you at the top. And I've got shot at the top. If I take the shot at the top, I'm doing a 75% wind adjustment. I tried a 50 earlier today and I was still a little off. All right, 2-6. Let's It's about a ring and 2/3. I'm going to put any forward power that's left on it. Hitting it perfect. Now the thing is if I get my bounces wrong in here, I might actually bounce. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Now in the past, I've always taken this shot with my Nirvana and I've ran the topspin out. And the deal is that you're in one of those areas where you run the topspin out and wind is no longer a factor. But now the slope of that hill is definitely a factor. And so you have to allow for the drop of that hill, and if you don't hit it perfect, like a lot of times when you're that close, you can hit it not perfect and it will still go in, at least on one side or the other. But that particular shot, you got to hit it perfect. And if you didn't adjust for the slope, you may still miss it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this more as if I had an in-bringer, and I'm going to do like one backspin and get right up to it. I had this happen to me the other day. I couldn't get my ball guide to rest right where I wanted it. Hit it one ring great to the left. And it'll go in. You're that close that it'll go in on a great to the left or the right, and it should go in on a great to the left or the right. But if you're out there and you run topspin and you hit a great to the left or the right, you may miss it. And anybody who likes to run topspin who's played this hole knows exactly what I'm talking about. So on that particular hole, I'm going to take that slope out of play and just play my rapier a little differently. It's got tons of tools, so it's not lacking in anything. Hole number 6. Hole number 6. Woo! I can't. We passed a big test right there. Big. All right, hole number 6. Extra mile. Tighten. Hole number 6. Extra. Tighten. Select. Make sure I've got a sniper. All right, I'm ready to roll. Let's clear a chest. Don't like to play with, I always want to play with an empty slot. That way you can always, if you're in that opportunity that you can win a chest, you want to win a chest. Hole number 6. All right, we got a great opportunity for hole-in-one here. And I haven't hit it perfect all week going in, but I want to see what a perfect looks like because I am right there on it. And I was talking to one of my teammates, Mike Day, earlier today, and we were talking about this hole, and he got an albie on this hole today doing this exact deal. All right, 4 topspin. Take the wind out, 2.8. It's about a ring and a half. Hit it 2 rings great to the right. And the risk here is that on the other side, it'll bleed up. But that second bounce, the more you go to the right, the farther forward you have to hit the ball in order to get the distance that you want. And I'm not trying to hit all the way out to the end. I'm trying to hit, there's a spot that I want to be at out there, and I didn't actually see what the number was there, but I'm trying to get in the 390 range. If I hit a bunch farther than that, it actually gives me a red line issue trying to take the shot with the sniper. And you can recover from there. And if they have a Nirvana in your bag, you're going to get to see the deal. And the deal is you got to have at least 4 topspin, and it's you gotta work it. All right, 3 1/4 topspin. Hey. .8. It's 3.0. 3.4 rings. 3.04. There's 3. Oh, and I hit it great. I haven't hit it perfect into this cup all week. It's been right there. I'm taking off 20% of the wind. 3 1/4 topspin, minus 20% on the wind. And on the drive I'm doing on that extra mile, I'm only using 4 topspin. The goal is to get to the 390 range so that if you hit too far forward, like where my opponent was, if they hadn't ended up in the rough. Very nice. If they hadn't ended up in the rough, they may have had a red line issue if they brought a sniper, where the sniper's red line was like right inside the rough area there that you're trying to, and you don't want to be too close to the front of it. All right. No Albie for me. Got a great shot on that one though. I've hit very few Albies on there, but I've hit more lately, especially since I started taking wind off. And I have no idea. It appears to me that it's downhill, so we should be adding wind on, but it definitely plays different. Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Hole number 7. All right, this par 3 right here. I am having fun on this par 3. So, and I'm trying to work my shot with a Guardian and a Quasar. And one of these bags has a Guardian in it. And I am doing 1.1 per ring plus 20%. Right. That's all I need. I don't like the fact that I didn't get to open up a chest there. I need to be winning these holes. I need to be capitalizing on every single one of these holes and making the shot. It's all a matter of hitting perfect. It doesn't matter how well you set the stuff up. That's why my buddy Scooby doesn't like to use the wind ring method. He likes to eyeball it because he's like, you can still make it even if you don't hit it perfect. What kind of nonsense is that? That is all the backspin I can get on. .49. I'm doing there's 5.5 plus hitting it perfect. Oh, I hit a shot perfect. And this time I was able to keep it up. I've been where it gets up there to the top. I need to come out just a little bit more. I went too far to the right in the tree where it gets to my ball guide where you can't see my ball guide anymore. I moved it just a little bit farther than I was right there to the right, and it got caught up there on the fringe. So I started moving it back over to the left. I need to go back and watch the video and see where it's coming through the tree so I can pick a leaf out there and put it on that leaf. I'm trying to get my white ring on the transition between the fringe and the green. And I don't worry about those trees because you're coming in there with max curl. And so your trajectory is not, you have to look at where you're bouncing out here, and your ball's coming to that bounce spot from all the way around the tree. The tree's like totally not even in play. Like, look at how much distance they have there from the tree. I think you have a much better shot at it if you go from down below, but I just like taking that shot. And you got to have some fun in these tournaments. That's the deal. And obviously it's fun when you make a hole-in-one, but sometimes you got to go out there and the deal is you're not going to make that guardian shot very often, but when you make a guardian shot doing a max backspin, max side spin, max curl, it like lights the crowd up. All right. Hole number 8. Oh, hole number 8, big test. All right, got to take a deep breath. All right. This is critical. This hole is critical. So let me go look and make sure. Okay, you can do this shot with a multitude of different clubs. You can do it with a QB. You can do it with anything that's got lots of curl. You can do it with an APOC. You can do it with a big topper. So you can set this shot up. You have to look in your bag and find out what you have, but I've got a rock. And so with a rock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here with a katana rock and a katana. And I'm going to set myself up. Now, I've been setting myself up my blue ring off. I think I might... No, I'm going to stay on my blue ring. I'm blue ring off and I'm at the +2 mark. So I've actually pulled back from the red line to leave myself a little bit of room. Number 1, in case there's a headwind. And number 2, it puts me like where you're coming out here when you're talking, I was talking about curl earlier. Like let's set it up so you can see the whole deal. So if you put curl on it and your goal is to hit a spot right here and you want to end up on this trajectory, so you're coming off of the tee box and you're doing this kind of hook, right? So like what I was talking about earlier is your ball guide's going through the tree. Well, who cares if it's going through the tree, because I'm going to put on curl and it's going to go around that tree, whether it likes it or not. So if you push the ball way out here to your red line and you push the ball out to here, then that means that you're coming off in this direction. So you can actually over push the shot so that you're always ending up in the sand. So if you're ending up in the sand a lot, you have to pull it back from the red line and find a spot. You may be able to drop down to a katana to make this shot to get around the bend. But depending on what club you're using, you may have to bring out a power 3 ball. So if you've got if you're using a quarterback, you'll probably have to bring out a kingmaker because you want that side spin. It's got and a quarterback's got plenty of topspin. And actually on this, I'm using 5 backspin. So if you've got your quarterback up, it may be good. All right, let's make sure I got it all set up. Katana, rock. That's all I need. I'm going for hole-in-one. But I will take an eagle. The closest I've come is hit the flagpole. I hit the flagpole and it bounced off and it was just right. It kind of like dribbled off right there. That's the closest I've been. But I've been pretty close. You can end up with some, what I consider to be difficult putts on this green. Okay, so there's 5. Do the 5. Okay, +2. Blue ring off. 4 plus 20%. So let's say I'm just going to do a 5-ring pull. That's like 10%. Hitting it perfect. Let's see where it ends. I needed to bring it in. I needed to put it like maybe 2 3/4 rings off, and it'd swing the ball around or pull it back to the plus. There's a certain point there, though. I wouldn't mess around too much with that +1, +2, because there's a certain point there that when you come around the bend on the arc, that if you get to 0 or if you get to +1, you may be in the trees. Now, the way it looks to me right there is that if you just hit it from right there and put a bunch of curl on it, that it would go around and it would do exactly what it's showing that it would do right there. It'd end up on the green. And that's beautiful. I've actually never taken it that way. I would do max curl, dude. Like, you want it to, because it'll help you out to try and clear the tree. And see, they came off on the right-hand side. So that kind of shot right there, you definitely want to put on max curl. There's almost no downside to putting on max curl, especially with an extra mile. Gotta hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. All right. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Picking up the eagle. Got to get an eagle in that hole. Hole number 5 and hole number 8, we absolutely, positively have to pick up. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. You will not, if you're trying to banner in these tournaments, the deal is that like the whole week, like even if you're not making any of the other holes, like the whole week, like if you've got practice tokens, the holes that you want to practice are, if you're having any problems with 5 and 8, you got to practice them until you can work it out. And even then, it doesn't always work out, especially the mid par 4. That one is a little bit tougher, and so the deal is that on that hole, you want to fail low, because you got a great shot low, even if you're in the rough or if you're in the sand. Excellent. Nice shot. Good game. Eagle. All right, now we've got a great shot on hole number 9 to pick up. So like this is the deal right here. Like look at where it's at. It's going to be, let's see if there's, there's a bunch of people down here who haven't played. So 13s are going to be the prevailing score, and there may be some 13s that don't make it. We'll see what's up at the top. Got a chance for 15 here, but we really got a chance for 16 because I think this last hole is definitely albiable. Now, in my main account, I switched up to a power 4 ball, not because of the drive, but because of the second shot. It gives you you get a little bit deeper down into this hole. But I'm going to take it with and this hole is definitely better with a Kingmaker. I'm going to bring a Kingmaker. And this is my number 2 bag. Number 2, accurate. And there's a few of the newer big par 5s. Oh, excuse me. Picked the wrong ball. I was probably already on a Kingmaker. It's fun sometimes. We used to have, because we only had one bag, if you decided you were in a tournament where, hey, in that tournament, my big topper is going to come into play, and so you went out and played one-on-one and you picked your big topper as your driver, you didn't have bag 2 or 3, 4 or 5. You were playing with a big topper, and there were some holes that you would seriously struggle on, but it was amazing how many holes the big topper was like. And there are some holes now that I play with a big topper. That's why I have it as my utility bag, because there's some of those holes that it is really good, especially with lower balls. Now, if you're going to take the shot down into this area, I would definitely use my most accurate driver. I'm using a rock, but a QB works just as well. All right, going to the +6. I'm going to get wedged up on my blue rings, or the entire ball guide on the blue ring. So that's like 3 rings, and I'm going to put 5 backspin on. To 8. I'm way downhill, so I'm just going to do a 3-ring pull. Hitting it perfect. Now let's see if it hit dead center middle of the fairway. Pretty close. And I don't need to get any closer than that. I don't want to run topspin up there and see where I can get, like, set it up so that you can take it with backspin and put yourself in a spot so you're in a pretty consistent spot. Move it back from the red line, so if we're in one of those situations where you have to pull it forward, you're not pulling against the red line and having to overpower it. That shot down into that hole, I've seen that shot eat a ton of people's lunch. All right, I'm doing 10% to the cup. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 backspin. We'll see. Or it might be topspin. I think I wrote it down wrong. I think it is topspin. You're all going backspin, dude. You're way out there. 2.6, 2.86 rings. There's the red line. 5 topspin. Hey, dude. 2.86 rings. There's no way that's going to make it. I couldn't get my tail to work. Hit it 1 ring right to the right. It'll miss by a mile. The distance there, if you can't get your tail to engage, as long as you can get your ball guide so it's going towards it, it will roll down the hill to the cup. You won't get left. It'll be very difficult to end up short right in front of it, the way it rolls off that hill. Because here's the base of the hill right here, and there's just a little platform where the cup's at. So, but you can get your tail to work a lot better than that. And yesterday I timed out twice, so I was like trying not to time out today. I was thinking around on some of the holes, and I was trying out some stuff, and my notes were unclear. I didn't come out with a game plan, but I went back and watched the video, and I definitely made a game plan after that. All right, so -15. So my goal going in was -14, picking up the 2 par 4s. I picked up the mid par 4, hole number 5 and hole number 8, and then picking up the Albie on hole number 3. So we got to pick up at least something so we can get to the 30. So we'll see. I think there's going to be, here's what I think. I think somebody's going to be higher than that -15, and it's going to be like a 16 or a 17. And not right now, but it will happen. Yeah, there's still enough people going that somebody can pop out a big score. Yes, sir. That's the way we want to start it, though. We want to, because of the way that the tiebreakers are now, it'll be a big deal. What I liked, what I liked about the old, the way that the bracketing used to be, is how fast brackets would fill up. Like you could get in a bracket and it would fill up really quick, and you could tell. So like you could get into the bracket, and if there was 100 people in the bracket, wherever you were at, 26th, first, 97th, whatever place you were in, that's what your tiebreakers were. So if you wanted to win that tournament and you were 30th in tiebreakers, you're going to have to pop off the big score. Like obviously, right? You're going to have to, if everybody's shooting 30, 31, you're going to have to come out and put out a 32, and then anybody could beat you. But now you're not really sure where you stand in tiebreakers because the brackets fill up slowly. But having good tiebreakers now is definitely critical. So opening round, we need to be really focused on the 28 and trying to pick up at least one per side. And there's plenty of opportunities out there to pick shots up. All right, I will catch you on the opening round. Good luck. Hopefully everybody's doing well, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.